So Kelsey Mitchell is probably in her last year with the Indiana Fever. Um, the Aaliyah Boston contract makes it extremely, extremely difficult for the Indiana Fever to keep Kelsey Mitchell next year. And for everyone being like, oh, the Lexi Hull's contract doesn't mean that Kelsey Mitchell's gone. It kind of does. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. Sorry, not Kelsey Mitchell. Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Monique Billings are going to be making $3.2 million next season. They're going to be making combined $3.2 million. Let's just say the cap goes up to $8 million. It probably won't go up to $8 million, but let's just say hypothetically it goes up to $8 million. They're still taking 40% of the cap. Like, the three of them are still taking up nearly 40% of the cap. You cannot give another player that. You cannot give Kelsey Mitchell the max contract. She will not play an offer. Let's be completely real here. Like, Kelsey Mitchell is not the type of player that's going to take a pay cut. She's just not. And if she was going to take a pay cut, the Indiana Fever would have given her a multiple year deal. Like, the Indiana Fever signing her to a multiple year, $1.2 million a year deal would have been the most beneficial thing for the Indiana Fever. If they want to keep her. If they want to keep her, that would be the most beneficial deal for them long term. However, I don't think they see Kelsey Mitchell in their plans long term. If they saw Kelsey Mitchell in their plans long term, they would not be giving Aaliyah Boston 20% of the salary cap for the next half decade. They wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. Like, the next half decade is what you call it. Like, it is Aaliyah and Kelsey's time. It is Aaliyah and Kelsey's time. Like, do we think Caitlin Clark is going to play for the minimum? Like, that is basically it. If you believe, like, Caitlin Clark, if she decides to take even a pay cut, like, she'll be able, if she goes and wins, hypothetically, if she goes and wins MVP, she's going to be able to get $1.7 million next season. Even if she doesn't win MVP, she's entitled to $1.5 million next season. If she takes a $500,000 pay cut, realistically, she's still, with the three players that are under contract for next season, forget about Dantas' minimum, with the three players under contract next season, even if she takes a $500,000 pay cut, Kelsey Mitchell, like, they'd barely be able to afford a team. To keep Kelsey Mitchell, every other player on the roster would have to be a minimum. And this is a team who does not do very well in the margins. And I don't see them doing that. That means you sacrifice all depth. You let Raven Johnson potentially walk. Whoever your first round pick is next year, you just don't draft in the first round. You pull a Valks. You trade your first round pick for a second round pick. Like, it would involve the Fever doing all of those things. And then in next year's free agency, the Fever won't even be able to afford the Maisha Hines Allens of the world. They will be bargain hunting for a team that's very bad at bargain hunting. That's basically what the Indiana Fever are going to have to do next year. If it turns out that like, they do want to keep Kelsey Mitchell, which they don't. Not that they don't want to keep her, but, like, I think they are moving on past Kelsey Mitchell. There is no way they can afford Kelsey, because Kelsey's not going to take less money to stay in Indiana. She's just not. Like, this is a person who was, anyone saying, oh, she'll take a pay cut to play with Leah and Kelsey. She didn't take a pay cut last year when her Supermax contract was a big reason why the team didn't even have 12 players. Like, her taking the regular max instead of the Supermax could have meant that her team could field an extra roster spot, and she didn't do it. She's not going to take a pay cut to stay in Indiana. She's just not. Like, Kelsey, everything we know from Kelsey Mitchell. And by the way, why should she? Why should she take a pay cut, for being real? Why should she take a pay cut? Like if she's got like she could get paid more and play for a team that that what you call it has like a better chance of winning, and she could get paid more. She could get paid more. Like that's a fact. But yeah, it is a really interesting one. But yeah, I just don't see I don't see in general how they're going to be able to afford Kelsey Mitchell. And signing her to that 1 year deal, I still think she could have been a trade asset. But the thing is, she probably may have only accepted a multiple year supermax. Like at one point, and she mightn't have accepted. She might have only accepted one of these tracker contracts, like the Aaliyah and Sabrina and Stewie are taking, which is like X% of the salary cap. And even if it turned out that the salary cap for like she took or Aaliyah took 17% of the salary cap. If she took 17% of the cap, you could be like, okay, at 17% of the cap, maybe you could work away around keeping Kelsey, Aaliyah, and then Caitlin would just have to perpetually play on $1 million or less a year. Like she would have to never take even close. Like she would have to by the end in 3 years' time take half of a max salary, which there's always a chance Caitlin Clark will do that. But like to keep Kelsey Mitchell, you're basically asking Caitlin Clark to take close to the minimum. Like that's realistically it. You're asking Caitlin Clark to take less money than her current rookie deal. Because unless Caitlin does that, the money's just not there because of the Lexi Hull and Monique Billings contracts. These are two of them. And if you're looking at the Liberty, how Liberty can afford to keep the big three together, John Quell doesn't make any more than $1 million on her. Barely makes over $1 million at all for her contract. Stewie and Sabrina both make 3% less than Leah's going to be making for on the salary cap. And most of the New York Liberty's team are on minimums. Most of them are only taking a 277 cap hit. The only players in the Fever who are taking the minimum cap hit are Michaela Timpson, KK Timpson, if they call up Justine Passat, Shatori Walker Kimbrough, and Demir Stantis. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one losing Kelsey next year, but it looks like it's close to being a guarantee that Kelsey Mitchell will not be on the Indiana Fever in a year's time.